I want you to learn how to squat properly, all right? So I'm gonna teach you. So what I do, I always start out with a warm up and a stretch, right? The warm up is gonna be me doing squats, like air squats with no weight, or a bar, or 135. That's a warm up, right? But before I do that, I stretch. What I do is I get into a full squat without weight, and I stretch my hips, all right? Big chest, back nice and straight, legs out, knees out. In this stretch, you sit all the way down at the bottom of the squat, and you put your elbows on the inside of your thighs or your knees, and you push them out, all right? Push them out, sit in it for a few seconds, let it go, come back up, go back down into that squat again, push them out, just to stretch your hips. A lot of people have mobility issues because their hips are too tight, all right? You got tight hips. All right, so we got that out the way. Now we're gonna get into a proper squat, the proper mechanics for a squat. Now listen, it's gonna look different from me to you, you to him, him to her, right? Because everybody's body is different. Some people got long legs, short legs, so on and so forth, all right? But there's certain things that I would like for y'all to do to prevent you from getting injuries, all right? And that one thing is, I know there's a lot of debate about this, but listen, I ain't debating, right? I am not in the business of letting people in my presence do a squat and their knees is coming over their toes, right? I've seen some horror stories, all right? What you wanna do is push your hips back, right? As if you're sitting down into a chair, all right? Push your hips back, that way your knees are not coming over your toes. You're gonna naturally shift a little bit anyway, so don't worry about that. But try to be conscious of putting your weight on your heels. You don't want the weight on the balls of your feet, so you wanna be flat. I got some Ann Whites actually, but they're super flat, perfectly flat. So I use that, Chucks, Vans, or I'm barefooted, all right, with socks. I ain't really barefooted in the gym, but anyway. But moral of the story is you want a flat surface and you fall right into that perfect squat position, right? As you're going down, your knees are going out. It takes the pressure off of your knees and it'll help you spring back up into action once you come up. I mean, if you look at the history of time, like the amount of people that have existed from day one to now, we got reviews from about 80% of all of humanity.
Yeah, for the most part.
It's not too shabby.
Yeah, most people have taken PA7 who have lived.
Who else can say they have that? Nobody. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nobody out there that have the amount of reviews that we have. We have billions of reviews. No one can say that, truthfully. No one can truthfully say that, but we're gonna say it. Not truthfully, but we're gonna say it.
It's not truthful. That's important to know.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're saying,
no, exactly.
We didn't have to say that everything.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
We're saying that it's not truthful, but we do have billions of reviews.
But we do have billions of reviews of happy customers. And we will have billions of reviews if society, you know, can
gets on board,
get past this great filter that's coming and we colonize Mars.
If that happens, we're for sure gonna get to the billions.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into the progression, all right? A proper Mike Rashid progression. Now, I wanna talk about the psychology of a squat, right? We gotta get into this. I'm big on squats. I do squats multiple times a week. I'm working my way back to squatting every day because I really enjoy it, but here's why. I love squatting because I used to be terrible at it, right? Squats used to terrify me, right? I was one of those cats that would just do curls and bench press, right? So I would do legs, but never squats. Just didn't understand it. It just seemed like very intimidating. I always tell y'all, you gotta bully your bully, right? So the squats was my bully, right? But once I just stepped to it and started doing it and learned how to do it properly, I felt like it wasn't that bad, it wasn't that hard, right? And just going through the motions of getting good workouts, increasing my strength, I feel like I gained a lot from that, more than just being strong with squats and developing the quads and the legs and all of that, right? I felt like I developed a lot of integrity, right? Because let's think about it, with a squat, it's something positive for you, it's good for you, right? But it's hard to do. Even for me, a person that's a good squatter, it's still hard to do mentally. It's like, it's a task, right? You putting this bar, right? This heavy ass bar on a spine, right? At the bottom of your neck, and you're sitting all the way down with all of this weight on you, in your weakest position. That's below parallel. So when you're doing a squat, here's your knees, here's your hip, that's parallel. You want to come a little bit lower than parallel, right? That's where all the power comes from. You see people doing shallow squats all the time. Why? Because the front of your leg is the strongest part, right? You're walking a lot, you run, whatever. Everybody's really strong in the front. The back part of the leg is weak, right? So your hamstrings, your glutes, all of that stuff, right? So when you get into that beneath parallel, that's when you're really working that complete posterior chain. And that's what you need to work, right? Now, that's difficult to do. So you knowing that it's difficult, it feels difficult, right? You're in a very compromised position. Guess what? You stand that shit up, right? That's some boss shit, right? That's a major accomplishment. And guess what? You can do that multiple times a week, right? So I look at it like this. There's a concept of philosophy called eat your frog. And it basically talks about first thing in the morning, you want to eat a frog, right? That sounds disgusting, right? That's like a horrible thing to do. Why is that? Because if you do that first thing in the morning, the rest of your day is smooth, it's easy, right? So with squats, I look at it like that too. I look at a lot of things in life like that. I gravitate to doing hard shit, to doing difficult things. Why? Because I know, look, I look at life like war. Like, in essence, we're at war at all times, especially the fellas, right? So I'm looking at what my competition ain't doing, right? What other business owners, what other influencers, or so on and so forth, who's squatting every day, right? Who putting some heavy ass squats on every day? None of y'all? All right, cool. I'm gonna do what you're not doing, right? But it ain't just that, it's many things, right? Now, who knows what everybody's doing or not, but in my mind, that's how I keep my edge. And squats is one of those things that allows me to keep an edge. And if y'all out there who are serious squatters, y'all know what I'm talking about. You get a serious endorphin rush. Not to mention a serious testosterone rush as well, right? When you're training your legs or doing squats. Squats is the pound for pound king of all strength training exercises. There's studies about this, right? Because you're training your entire body, right? So I want y'all to dive into squats. Like, if you're not good at squats, good, that's even better. You'll get more out of it. But get serious about squats. Get serious about getting on a protocol in which you're tracking what you're doing, in which you're getting stronger with your squats, right? Your squat strength and endurance is progressing week after week. And I promise you, your body will change. Your mind will change. You'll be shedding fat. You'll be building so much muscle, all right? Y'all gotta give it a try. Listen, if you don't know where to start, I got you, right? Not only do I have ebooks on just squatting, but I also have my whole program. So for those who don't know, Sacred Society has merged with Alpha Shred. That's my 30-day transformation. In that transformation, most people in it, they stay on it. It's not just 30 days for them. They stay on it because the programming is so legit. But I have y'all doing legitimate leg protocols, squat protocols, bench, like everything, the whole body. Let me guide you, I got you, right? Because a lot of times, I see people in the gym all the time, week after week, month after month, year after year, and they look the same. They don't look any different because their intentions are in a good place, but they're not doing the right things. I always say this, everybody got the ingredients, it's all around us, but do you have the proper recipe? With somebody that know what the fuck they doing, you'll have the proper recipe. I got you, all right? The link's down below. Training is a spiritual act. They don't teach y'all that in church or the temple or wherever you go, but I'm here to tell you that it's very spiritual because this body is the shell that we have encapsulating our soul, our spirit, our essence. This is all we got. So why wouldn't you fortify it to the best that you can? It's weird not to. Squatting and doing these heavy things, hard things, it keeps you young, forever young. It keeps you sturdy, it keeps you solid. So the moment you stop, that's when life stops. That's where entropy accelerates, right? And that's what you don't want, all right? So listen, life is what you make it. You can live however you want to live. I'm advising, I'm showing y'all, you want a quality of life, a robust quality of life. Be a fucking beast as long as you can. What better way to do that than to be consistent with your squats every week? Well, fuck it, every day, all right? Anyway, I love y'all. Holla at y'all next week. Comment down below what you want to see next. Subscribe and share, and I'll holla at y'all next week. Let's go.